This meeting is being recorded.
All right. So, my name is Nemezue Obieisi, but I go by Mezu for short. And Lambert, you can introduce yourself, like your name.
Oh, my name is Lambert Edeba, originally from Nigeria. I'm a certified senior data engineer for Gemini.
Yeah, great. So firstly, like, let's give you a little bit intro about myself and background. So, like you all, my guess, I'm from Nigeria, Igbo tribe. I came to the US, 2009. Yeah, 2009. And, did my schooling here in bachelor's in electrical engineering. After that, I graduated that and I wanted to get a job. However, it was a challenge. So one of the, career fairs, during the career fair, we got introduced to an IT company that was offering free training in data. I believe that time it was like database programming. So when I had the training with them, I got they helped me prep me in tools like database programming, SQL and ETL, data warehousing. So which we'll talk more about later. So that's how I got involved in this space. I got my first job in 2014. And ever since I've been, working in the field in IT with data, and here I am as a data engineer. And Lambert, you can go ahead, tell a little bit about your background and how did you land up in data engineering?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Obi. So initially, I'm a graduate of University of Benin in Edo State, Nigeria. So did computer science. That was way back in like 2010. So I've been traveling around the world. Came to America December 2015. So after that, initially we were hustling and doing some stuff, but we decided to switch into IT when we see like most of our friends, they're doing like the IT auditor, they were like making like legit money. So we decided to follow their path and started learning on YouTube. So from YouTube initially, I was into like IT auditor for quite a number of time from like 2016. Then from that, I decided I was working in a project that deals with like data. So that was how I fell in love with data and started like teaching myself on YouTube how to really uh, learn. I learned SQL, Python, everything on YouTube, and started looking for a job. That's why I got my first job. I learned from YouTube, and today I'm Microsoft certified.
That's great. I mean, I guess that kind of, um, segues us to, okay, why did you pick data engineering? Like, why not cybersecurity? Why not, other IT fields? How did you kind of, what did you like about data engineering that you decided to go for it?
Actually, I love scripting with Python and SQL, so it's like an opportunity for me to continue to develop my skill set using Python scripting language and SQL scripting language. So I really enjoy doing it. And when it comes to data engineering, it's something like it's not an easy job, you know, but if you really like want to do it, I believe you can do it. And there are a lot of opportunities. And when it comes to like cybersecurity and all that, like IT auditor, I feel like it's kind of like it's an easy job. I like doing things that are hard, you know. So which is that is why I really like data engineering. And when it comes to data, the fact that you can just get like structured data, be able to create the data and create like beautiful insights with the data for business to make data driven decisions, it's really like it's exciting to me. So that is why I love this data feed, and I will continue to grow in this field.
Yeah, yeah. I love what you said. Um, so it's kind of similar to my experience. I kind of landed into data engineering, or you could say data analytics space. And what I did love, like you doing the first training that I was doing in data, I noticed that it wasn't so much, you know, heavy like computer software engineering development. However, what I liked is you have some opportunity to learn some theory around the architecture or how the system works. That's something I liked, that okay, it's a little bit conceptual, and also you have to have that problem solving mind. And that combination of, you need to know something about the how the system works, and the coding, it wasn't too heavy, like things like programming languages like SQL wasn't too hard to learn. It's actually
Yes.
very, it's like writing English, right? So I was that was what sold it for me. And the fact that also that every day you can learn something new, your pretty much you your career growth in this field is nothing but how much you can learn. Like the more you learn, the more you earn. Like that's literally
That's true.
how it works here. And to me, that's like unbelievable, because most of the other fields, it's almost like you get stuck. You have to play some politics to move up the ladder. But in this one, it's limitless. So that's what sold me, learning something new all the time. Um, so the um, the next thing I wanted to understand is, Lambert, is
Yeah.
like how, like, let's say, how can people, that, let's say they know that they like data engineering. Now, how do they get into it? How do they get more information? How did they, start getting into this field? You know?
I think the first thing I would say is for them to follow your blog post, because we'll be continuously updating the blog to give them like details of how they can become data engineering. And but apart from that, hopefully very soon we'll need to start a school where we can really like teach people that can, with our accents and all that, we being blacks, they can be able to like understand us properly than just going on YouTube, like, because it takes determination, you know. Not everybody can go to YouTube to go and learn
Yeah.
like a six-figure job on YouTube, you know. So if you determine, you can do it. But yeah, that would be the first step for them to like follow your blog. If you have the link, I think you should like paste it in the chat so they can see the
Yeah,
link.
yeah. Let me paste that in the chat right now. Um, so I wrote this blog around how to become a data engineer, and we'll still, there's still more information. This is not just the only one. So we'll still have more of a deeper dive. I still have a lot of links and resources to send. By the end of the call, I will send the list, a bunch of links on some courses and how you can follow us on LinkedIn, and you can, how to get more information. And one of the things that I feel like we didn't do justice on is what are some of the benefits of because of working in this field, because I mean, we all know that we love, nobody will do anything just because it's fun. What are some of the benefits you feel like working in as a data engineer or just in IT in general is like is worth it? Like, what are some of those things? Is it the money? Is it the flexibility?
Yes, Obi, before I come to your question, right, let me quickly go back to that first question because I didn't finish. I just gave them like a reference to your blog post for them
Yeah.
to like to do research. So other ways they can be able to learn like data engineering is like through Udemy. Like I wish I knew about Udemy. I actually got a job before I knew like Udemy have like great courses. They can like really like give you like a straight path to becoming a data engineering. So those was the courses. I think they have. I took like one or two courses there before I got my certification. So they're really good courses. They're on my LinkedIn page. And Obi, if you have the link for those
Yeah.
Udemy courses, I think it would be good for you to put it in the chat. That
Yeah,
would be
let
a
me
straight
put it
path
in the chat.
because not everybody can like just go to YouTube and just be like you never know where to start. You just be like just like me, like I was really like determined. I was tired of doing what I was doing. I wanted a change. That was why I took all the motivation I had, even my pain. I turned everything to motivation. Stayed on YouTube like all day, all night to make sure I'm able to learn. And actually, then, say if I was even like studying like Power BI on YouTube, not only like Azure, like Power BI, SSIS, SSAS, SSRS, Microsoft SQL Server. I was studying a lot and doing interview for them. And one key thing is that like whenever you're doing the interview, if they ask you a question like you don't know, write it down and go to YouTube or Google and research it for your next interview. Or sometimes like me, I would just like ask the interviewer like, hey, what is this question? I don't know it. So they would tell me, I will write it down for my next interview. So but you can never give up as well when you start like doing the interview. So that was I was like interviewing for like up to like 5. These are different jobs. SQL Server is an on-prem like technology for data engineering. I was learning like Microsoft Visual Studio, which has like SSIS, SSAS, SSRS on YouTube, doing the interviews, learning Power BI, doing the interview with Power BI, and learning Azure as well. So that was a lot. It would be a good advice for anybody that want to really like come into this field to learn like Azure. Azure is really like is a Microsoft platform. It's an easy it has like easy access, easy like you can navigate the website pretty easily, and there are a lot of jobs for Azure data engineers. So those Udemy links, they're really like good, especially like there is a project on a real life project that you can work on with one of the courses. That is like a straight path for you to becoming a good data engineer. Once you do that, just go to LinkedIn, look for data engineers, and be able to like uh, copy their resume and use it to do yours and start interviewing as soon as possible. I believe there are a lot of jobs like they're still hitting me up. Even like the jobs are just so much. Like we can't work all the job. We need more people like us in this field.
So
Really easy. You can learn more on the job as well. So that is a really like, that would be like the straightforward part. Go to Udemy, pick one of the two courses
Yeah.
before we
So,
start giving out courses, you know.
so there's there's a question in the comment that we should state the technologies more slowly, which again, if we go to the blog, it's written more clearly. But I think one of the things we missed, I'm sorry guys, is how many people with the, if you can raise your hand, how many people even know what is data engineering? Like what is, you know, what are we talking about here? Like what is data engineer? Have you heard of it? Are you in IT? Just raise your hand, because I want to understand the audience, like, you know, how disconnected are they from what we are talking about? That way we can, you know, pace ourselves to explain a bit more. Can
Yeah,
with a show of hands, do you guys know how to do the show of hands? Pretty sure.
so I'm in my LinkedIn right now. I'm trying to copy the link so I
Okay.
can put it in chat. This would be a straight path for you guys to really like, you know, this is not something you play with. This is a life-changing opportunity. Like me, when I was studying for just my certification after getting my job, like I wasn't sleeping. I was really serious with this Udemy courses, like so I believe like anybody that wants to like get a job can even be more serious than me, because this is not something you play with seriously. Like you can just change your life with this. And
So right now I see like just like 3 people, you know, that know what data engineering is. So I guess let's take a step back a little bit and just give a brief explanation of what is this data engineering we're talking about. So
yeah,
let me go first. Like so the way I could describe it is in any organization, right? In any company, we know that there will be data. So a typical example is you have a, let's say you're Amazon, like you have a business where you're selling some products, right? And you have data on for the nature of the game, right? You have data on the things that you sell, right? You have data about the customers, because people put their name, shipping address. You put the information about the products you are selling, the price, how much quantity you have, you know, the distributors and all that. So you will definitely have information, which is data. Now, as a person that needs to, as a business decision maker, I would like to know that if I'm doing business, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, I would like to know, okay, what is my top selling product? Should I invest in more warehouses to store that product? What region, what state, right, needs what the most? Like which state is selling more, I'm getting more sales in, let's say, soap, you know? And with that information, I can say, okay, maybe I need to budget more in this state, or maybe I need more delivery center. So as a business owner, you're always gonna be faced with decisions. And to make decisions, you need data. So where do we come in? Why do I tell you all this? As data engineers, the role we play is that this data we're talking about is scattered. You can imagine it's scattered all over the place in your company's infrastructure. So what I mean is like each system that you use in your company can be, you have a database, which is just nothing like a storage where you store the data for that system. Let's say your customer database can be different. Your sales will be different. It will be stored in a different location or different, system. And at the end of it, somehow you want to see the entire picture, to see which customers are buying what and doing what in whatever region. You have to bring all that data in one place. So that's exactly where data engineers come in, that we are helping the organization move that data from multiple sources, or one or more sources, to a target destination where report analysts, business users, they can access that information and create reports and analytics of it. So it's pretty much the the main summary. And the other things we do is all about helping make the thing efficient, like doing some automation and some you could say performance tuning. We want to get the data move the data as fast as possible, and streamline it and all that. But the main gist of it is we are like the pipe, you could say the plumbers of data. We are moving data from one point to another and making sure it's flowing seamlessly so that analytical people or like report developers can have the data they need to build the insights to present to the business decision maker. So Lambert, you want to add anything?
Yeah, when it comes to data engineering, right? Like data engineering, data itself, data is the new oil to start with. Like the new oil right now is data. Like there's too much data. The data being analyzed, they're never like according to some professionals, they're not even like up to like 10% of the world data that's been actually analyzed. So this is the field that needs more data engineers. Then as time goes on, like this field is here to stay. It's not something that we just go away anytime soon. So it's advisable for anybody that want to jump in as soon as possible, even before this COVID before COVID ends. This is the right time due to the interviews on Skype, Teams, and Zoom, so you can be able to do the interview by remotely. So, but when it comes to data engineering itself, it's the process by which you are able to get like unstructured data, and you curate the data or transform the data and store the data in probably like in a secured database or data warehouse where data scientists can come in and be able to use those data to make like forecast predictions regarding businesses, their decisions, and also those data can also be analyzed as well, like the time intelligence analyze, and they can analyze the data by doing time intelligence, which is like the year over year, day over day. Company likes to compare their profits for the year over year and all that. So data is really very, very important for business decisions right now. So most companies now, they don't make like conscious decisions no more. They use the data to be able to make data-driven business decisions. So that is where we come in as data engineer to be able to get those data from various sources where the company store their data. Sometimes it can be real-time data too. We can get like real-time data of whatever is going on, whether you're pressing your phone, whether you're buying stuff, or whatever you're doing with the company, like probably like when you purchase something online, like those real-time data, we can be able to fetch those data and give real-time analysis of those data. So it's really like important. And as data engineers, your job is to be able to curate those data, make them store them in the ready to use state for business or users or data scientists, like I said, and data analysts for them to be able to come in and just perform. Those are like front end developers. Data engineers are back end developers for them to be able to make the create dashboard insight with the data. But first of all, as a data engineer, you have to curate the data and make sure the data are all stored in the right data warehouse and database. So data is the new oil. It's advisable for anyone that wants to really like join the food, drop in as soon as possible. Like it's really hot right now.
Yes, it's really hot. Yeah, and we can talk about like let's talk about a little bit of I mean what got people excited about.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah,
Just
sure.
Before you continue, I know. Remember you talked about data. You know, data is pretty much everything, but there's some terms that you're using. So I assume some people here are, you know, maybe not since currently new to data engineering, data world. So I would like you to clarify some terms that you use. You say, you know, the data engineer curate data. So what does that mean? What do you mean by data engineer curate data? And you also mentioned like database, data warehouse. Well, database, we could see a lot of people may understand what database is, but like the data warehouse, like, you know, what can you clarify those terms so that some of us can, like, you know, some people here understand better what to curate the data means.
Thank you.
All right, cool. When I'm talking about curation, like when you talk about curate data, like, you know, like when this data come into like what they call OLAP data warehouse or database, those data warehouse and database, let me start from there. They're like a virtual environment whereby you store your data. It can be like in tables, it can be in files. Now they have like storage accounts where you can just go and dump in your data in whatever file format you want the data to be in. But when it comes to curation, that's the process whereby you can be able to get these unstructured data, because when you get in this real-time data, sometimes they are unstructured. So the process of you to get them, structure them, clean them, because most times the data, they can be missing some values. They can be sometimes they're not correct. So your duty to follow the business requirements for you to be able to perform some transformation on the data. So we use, like when it comes to complex transformation, we use Python programming language for us to be able to perform this transformation. But for big data sets, because when you working in the business environment, you have to work with big data sets. So that is where we use Apache Spark, which is like Spark, PySpark, and Spark SQL is like Python and SQL, but in Apache Spark environment for you to be able to process this big data. So the process for you to be able to get this data, structure this data, sometimes you can use ETL tools such as Azure Data Factory, SSIS, Informatica, for you to be able to like perform. ETL means extract, transform, and load. So for you to be able to extract this data, transform this data, and load this data, the whole process is called curation. You're curating the data. You're trying to refine the data. You understand? Because these data, they are unstructured. You're trying to put them in a ready-to-use state for data analysts and data scientists to come in and be able to make their predictions and give. Sometimes you're using your phone, you just be talking, they'll be giving you like real-time predictions. That is data. They're taking your data, they're analyzing the data real-time and giving you real-time prediction for whatever you're doing with your phone, whether you're talking or. So they get all this data, and they are data engineers, data scientists, data analysts. They are working like in real time, or sometimes they already created like a model that runs automatically and just pick all this data and just be able to perform the curation. And data scientists have their own model too that can be able to make forecast and prediction. Data analysts have their own model as well that can be able to analyze the data, create insights and dashboard on the data, on the real-time data for them to able to give you these real-time predictions. So curation actually is like transformation as well, but curation involves the whole process whereby you can be able to ingest all these huge data sets, transform them either through ETL or through your Apache Spark clusters using PySpark and Spark SQL, and be able to store them in a ready-to-use state in a data warehouse. When it comes to data warehouse is a huge virtual environment whereby like you have your different tables, your different databases. So each databases have different tables for you to be able to store this data. So sometimes it can be relational databases, it can be non-relational databases as well. So I think that should give you
that's very good, Lambert. Yeah, because some of the terms we use can be a little bit overwhelming. However, since this is like intro session, we are not trying to overwhelm you with too much information at once. Rather, the goal here is like, let's kind of get some feel of this field. That way you can know, is this something I want to pursue? And you can develop more interest and get more into it. I believe someone has a question. Yeah, Tara, go ahead. Yeah.
So basically, just like in, I guess, like layman terms, are you saying that you're sorting and cleaning up the data before you process it and put it into the database?
Yeah. So what I can take that. So in layman terms, right? The very first thing is we need to extract the data, right? We need to get the data out from wherever it's sitting. And because that data, the reason why we need to get it out from where it's sitting is because most times data is in silos. So the data about the customers is sitting in one server, one database that is totally different from the data that has the sales. So sometimes if I want to do an analysis to say, okay, which of these customers like that live in Texas are buying what product, I need both, right? I need to get both of those data from those different systems. So that's why we always have to extract the data first from all those different systems. Once we extract the data, now we have the choice to start making the transformation, the cleansing, which means sometimes, they might tell you, okay, they want first name and last name to be one field, or we want, if the address, we want to make sure that the address is a valid address. If it's non-valid, you have to either discard it or use some other technology to pretty much cleanse the address to make it in the right format. Or something like dates. Let's say some people in US, we write our dates, month, day, year, right? But if I'm getting data from Nigeria, right? Nigeria is doing the dates in day, month, year. So now, for me not to confuse myself, I need to make sure that when I'm getting data from Nigeria and US on the dates, I need to make sure that I'm putting them in the same format. So be it, day, month, year, or year, month, day, whatever I want. So all this is the transformations, and that's what, when Lambert says curation, these are some of the things we do to make sure we prepare the data in a proper way so that we are talking the same language and you can store it. Now, I'm not gonna get into too much details, but nowadays we actually first extract the data, store them, then do this transformation, like this cleansing and all that. But before we used to do extract, transform, then load it. So, but it's just, different schools of thought. And, I hope that kind of clarifies some of your data.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Do we have other questions right now?
Yeah, people are raising their hands.
People have their hands raised. Yeah.
Are they King David, Dominica? Do you have a question, or is it just you raising a hand? Oh, I think it's maybe they raised their hand earlier and forgot it. But I do want to segue to the part that gets us excited. What are some of the money benefits? Let's talk about how much do data engineers make? Because we mentioned that in the flyer, you make 6 figures, but like as a beginner or 2 years experience, 3 years experience, what are some of the average, you say salaries that you have seen, Lambert, in your experience working so far? And what can they expect? If people are coming into the field, what can they expect to make money-wise, in this field?
This fit takes confidence, like me, like when my first job I got after learning from YouTube was 135,000 per year. Like that was the first job. So they were like so I did the project for some time, but now due to my certification and all that, my range is within like 200K to like 300K. But normally for like data and for just like freshers, if you have the confidence when you are coming to this job, like those recruiters, like they get paid a lot. That is why very soon I want to start taking contract, because that is where you make more money, because they get paid a lot for the contract. I was talking to a director yesterday and he was telling me about a contract he got for like $5 to $6 million, and they'll be giving us like maybe like 200K, 300K, and they get like the bulk millions of dollars. So when you come into this field, be confident, talk to those recruiters, don't go below 130K. As time goes on, as you start progressing, the range normally is from 150 to like 180K. So be very confident with those recruiters.
That's very good. Even I'm surprised, Lambert.
You say?
I'm surprised. I didn't even make that much when I joined a bit, but like you said, it's confidence. Everybody is different. So I remember when I started, like I told you, I went through the route of working in a boot camp, like through a company that trained me, and they took at least 40% of our salary, right? And so at the end of the day, like I wasn't making up to 100K, right, initially, because if they're taking 40%, if you're taking at least just 40%, then you're not gonna make much. However, starting up, to be very frank, it depends with everybody. Like if you're a brand new fresher, like you're brand new out of college, on average, I've seen people getting into the industry around 80K to 90K, right? You can get 100 as well. However, you might need like 1 or 2 years. However, if you have at least 2 to 3 years experience, definitely it's possible to be getting at least 105, 120K, like initially. And, going, and one of the advantages we have is most of us probably here, you are like a citizen or you have green card. So that's actually a very good plus.
It's just, we're gonna go big.
Because right, they the lot of majority of your competition, which are people that came from, you know, other countries, they actually don't have the work authorization. So they have to go through, the companies are a little bit strict. Like after Trump, like he made it hard for people to get hired for sponsorship. And, you know, so it's a lot of advantage right now to US citizens and permanent residents. So I would say like definitely within the first 2 to 3 years, you should be making at least 100K and above for sure. Like once you start working, like if you're not making that, like you need to look at yourself and you're either in the wrong, you're sticking in the same job
Obi,
too long or not.
Obi,
Yeah.
Obi, let me just come in real quick. No. This job, right? It's like your resume, how you make your resume really matters. You understand? Like,
Yeah.
there's no need to go be doing 2 years, doing 3 years. No, you can, like, for real, you can really get like, like if you really build your resume, that's why, okay, like all my Niger people here, like everybody here, you can just go copy either me or Obi resume and just edit it, use it to do yours, and you can make like 6 figures, like seriously, like and you as long as you're ready to learn, because this is not a child's play, you know. When you start doing the job, you need to really know how to do the job, you know. But like most of the links I gave you guys, they are the same links your company will give you to go and learn from Udemy or whatever, you know. But it's all about confidence. Like the list, those recruiters, the list when you start interviewing, if your resume is well prepared, I think at least 130K, like that should be your lowest. Like, and be confident about it. Like it's not you, because they're gonna know if you've already been like working in the job, because that's why I said like the way you build your resume matters a lot. So you know your confidence, your approach, and be really like 130K is nothing. Like if it's too much for you, then if your mind can't carry it, you can't get it. But if you see it as nothing, like me, I'm already aiming like 500K. Like I believe I'm gonna get that. So your mind and your confidence matters a lot. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. I would say as well, like, yeah, your
Did you say you
negotiation.
already making 500,000?
Huh?
Lambert, did you say you're already making 500K?
No.
Yeah. I want to transition now. I want to be making like, but I want to start taking my contract though. Like I need millions, my brother.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
That's the spirit. I need your address.
This guy. So, like, if you think like the way I think, it's very easy. So, somebody was asking us entry. There's nothing like entry. Build your resume nicely, have the confidence, and as long as you know, like that's why I gave you guys those courses. If you really follow those courses, me myself, I've gone through those courses like 2-3 times, like started to the end. Once you go from starting to the end, they're going to give you a certification. So before you go through that course 3 times, those courses, you're supposed to be able to have confidence to face the interviewer. So and once you have that confidence, so the salary is really not like that depends on your confidence. Then like, hey man, I'm whatever you want, that's what they'll pay you. If you feel like you want 80K, they're going to give you 80K. If you feel like you want 150, they'll give you 150. So
yeah,
but
that's true.
It's, you know, because when you copy our resume and build our resume, your resume in accordance to the way we built ours, that means you are applying for the role of a senior data engineer. So as a senior data engineer, the average salary in America is from 135 to like 180K. So within that range, whatever you feel you are qualified for, that's what they will give to you. So
yeah. There's a question. There's a question in the chat, and I know I'll get to you, Dominica. There's a question around, you know, does it make sense to have the master's versus the certification? right? If I'm getting the question is like, would you suggest a master's or just get certification and training? Yeah, let me answer that. So honestly, I have a master's in data science actually, but I'm gonna tell you that that did not matter at all. The main thing is the experience. Now, certification are also good. The certifications, masters, I feel like today, as of today, for data engineering, certification is more relevant because it's actually you actually certifying yourself in a specific technology, right? Because masters is more broad, like let's say data science or masters in system informatics, whatever you do your masters in is more broad. But if you get certification, you're actually learning the stuff that you probably might use it in the job. So they will respect you for that because you actually can hit the ground running. So, because with master, you still need some kind of training. So my general advice is always that you can always do your master's, but don't confuse it as that will help me land a job for sure. No, what will help you land a job is your knowledge of the skills that you need for the job, which is if you're learning to be a data engineer, the tools you need, like you see in a blog, the data factory, the SQL, Python, those things, if you actually know that and you get the certification, those skills are actually what, if you have it and you can back it up in the interview, that's what can get you the job. Because bachelor's degree, if you already have bachelor's degree, you're good enough, you're qualified education-wise. Nobody would discriminate against you about your education. So everything else is all experience, and certification is just something that helps you. Like if you don't have experience, it helps you stand out more, So yeah.
Let me add to that. Let me add to that.
Add to that. I'll be right back.
Bachelor degree and master degree really has nothing to do with this our job for real. You understand? For in IT, bachelors or masters, they have nothing to do with this job. All companies are looking for is like, you know what you're doing. You have the skill set. They're looking for the skill set. Your skill set can sell you. Your skill set can take you far. Just have the skill set. And if you have a master's degree, that is just like is you can have a master's degree and don't even know like how to script or anything. So it might be a plus, but it's really like it's nothing. And when it comes to certification is actually certifying you that you are an expert in that particular role. So that gives you more confidence for you to be able to like go to your interview and tell them like, hey, like I did like one interview yesterday, like somebody that was interviewing me because I'm trying to like get somebody that was interviewing me was just like, it didn't even like, it wasn't saying nothing. It was just like, damn, your skill set. It was just like praising my skill set. So your resume matters a lot. Certification helps you certify that, hey, you are an expert in that role. And so that gives you more confidence to tell them like, hey, I don't want anything below 200K. So that is your mindset from there, like what you get. But masters don't mean nothing, bachelors don't mean nothing as long as you have the skill set. All they require in data engineering is high school certification, your high school certification. Really, you can use that to land a 6-figure job. If you have the mind, you need to have good, strong mind too. Like you're not coming to, this is life or death issue. This is a serious issue. This can change your life. So you have to come in with that mindset. And trust me, if you have the right resume, you know what you're doing by going through those courses on Udemy. I believe like in a month's time, if you're really serious, everybody here can get a 6-figure job. Like if you're really serious.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much, Lambert. I have one more question, right? So I've looked at some of the courses that you listed in Udemy, Azure Data Factory, what's the other one? the DP203 data engineer. Well, we see those certifications relatively relevant, but then
No,
for
no,
a
no, no,
fresher,
no,
I'm
no.
saying
Yeah, for a fresher, like company want to,
fresher.
yeah, let me comment. Some recruiters want to see that, like they'll be like, damn, he's serious. Like he got those certifications, but those certifications are nothing. They're just certifying you that you took the courses from start to end, you know? So because you have to finish every video in those courses for them to issue you those Udemy certificates. So which I did. I watched those videos more than once while I already had a job. So for people that don't have a job, I believe you can even watch those videos 5 times. So because if you watch them 2-3 times, starting to the end, for sure you will know more about data engineering. So those certifications, they don't really matter, but a company just want to see like he's serious, he's studying, like, you know, that will like, and that would like give them like they want to give you an opportunity, just seeing that you're serious, you're ready to learn. That is what most companies want to see. But the main certification is the Microsoft certification. That one, it's like once Microsoft certify you, that is the end. That is the like highest certification you can get for data engineering. And once you have that, like we were just in a meeting with Microsoft, one Microsoft professional, because we're working on a data governance platform using we're leveraging Azure Power. So we were stuck in the technology. So we decided to do a meeting with a Microsoft professional. And Tara, yeah, the link is in my LinkedIn profile. Once you click my link, you will see everything about the certification. The certification is in my profile. So if you click the certification, you will see like the link for you to go get yours. So the Microsoft professional, guess what? He like both of us, like we were like, he worked for Microsoft and we both have like the same like certification. So that is the highest certification you can get. That gives you more like extra confidence of like, hey, if Microsoft are paying their professionals like 300 to 500K, like I'm worth it too. But that's just, you know, those other Udemy certifications, they don't mean nothing, but it's good to have them, because once you watch those videos from start to end, they will issue it to you, and the company or recruiter that are looking for you, they will be like, he's serious. He's be studying. He's really trying to, even if you don't know what you're doing, but that gives them some sense of like, he's really like trying to learn. So from, they can like that. Before I got my certification, that was what I was using to get jobs before I got my certification. So I think it would be good for you all to go watch those videos starting to the end, so they can issue you those Udemy certificates.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's very insightful. Another thing I was wondering is like getting to the certification, like this Microsoft certification now, because I think one time I've looked over, most of them require some like other knowledge before you can really understand, you know, what those courses are saying. So assuming for a fresher, right, so just new to data engineering, you don't even have idea what Azure is. You've been saying Azure, we don't even, what the hell is that? Or, you know, what is data factory? What does it even do? You know, so what, say I'm coming from a different background, let's say like nursing, will be one other random program like that. What is the first thing I have to do? Like, I know, like you've mentioned SQL, Python. How do we get started with those tools? Because I think having a foundation is, you know, very crucial, you know, because if you go to start, like someone new to data engineering, if you go to start taking this certification, I mean, you're probably going to end up frustrated rather than even getting the certification, right? Because these certifications, I know you've gotten the certification, you've passed it. They're not easy, right? That's not an easy certification. It's not a walk in the park. So essentially, so there's some other things that you should have known, or you should have been in a path before, and then after getting to a certain level, then you start talking about getting Microsoft certified. Because it's not, you can't just wake up today and say, oh, I want to get certified, take the course. So what is the first thing that I'm going to do if I want to learn SQL? Because for someone that's coming new to data engineering, right? Totally blank. SQL, like you mentioned, Python is, what is the first thing? Like, what's that Udemy class I'm going to go to? And then get my feet wet with SQL, get my feet wet with Python. And then I start understanding what data engineering is all about, what they even do. Because you have to first of all understand those basics before you even start getting into the intricacies, start worrying about what data factory is going to do for you. or even Spark, the different kettle of fish. So I'm just like wondering for
Yeah.
people that are at that basic level, what, where do you go before to start with?
Yeah, I can take that. Yeah, that's very good. That's very good point. Like I would say, as a fresher, right? As a fresher, you don't joke with the process. The foundation is very important, because the thing with certifications is that it is very specialized, right? Let's say Azure data engineering. You learn about Azure tools, but who's to say that? I mean, just hypothetically, right? That who's to say that Azure will still be the number one 5 years from now, right? You know, if there's another, let's say, company or another cloud that came up, right? And if you don't have the foundation, right, you will notice that you start getting swayed. You will not have a good footing to prolong your career, because you are only specialized in just one point, and you don't have so many grasps of the core foundations that you need to be a good data engineer. And that's why in the blog, the very first um, skill or learning you have to do is, I started with Python, but you can start with SQL, but at least Python will give you that programming knowledge. Like, okay, how do I even write a code? Because Python is friendly, it's easy to learn. Kids are learning that in their primary school and high school or whatever. So if you start learning that and learn the SQL and after that learn the SQL, have the good foundation, those tools are not going anywhere, regardless of whatever changes that might happen in the future. And once you have those understanding, when you start getting more advanced and get to the level of the learning the specific technologies in Azure per se, you can, like, even before you get to the certification, I even mentioned, like, get some understanding of the Azure fundamentals. Like, there's another course for Azure, just to understand what is Azure, what is cloud, why are people moving to cloud? Just if you have some of those understanding before you build on that to the real data engineer certification, which is like one of the highest, that at that moment, when you get to that level, you have that core foundation that you actually need. You can add more, Lambert, if I missed anything.
Yeah. I myself, I've gone through those courses. Those courses you see, each and every course there, I've gone through them like 2-3 times, like, because I'm really determined to get this job. So with my determination, I believe I think you guys will be more determined than me, because me, I'm already good, So you guys can watch those videos like 2-3 times. Everything you need is in, especially this course that says like DP203 Data Engineering on Microsoft Azure 2021. This course, they're preparing you for the certification. But guess what? You can take this course and go grab the certification, and I believe you can pass the certification if you really like serious. But if you don't want to do the certification, like Obi said, you can really like pause, so you get more like hands-on project experience while working before you go take the certification. But this course, they have like SQL courses, SQL like sections, Python sections, Spark sections, everything you need to become a Microsoft data engineer expert is in that DP20 course. And the basis of SQL, Python, Spark that you need to actually do the job. So before you go through that course, maybe the first time you'll be like, you don't understand. But the second time for sure, if you're really serious about getting this job, because if we can do it, you can do it. It's really easy. It's easy if you put your mind to it. It's easy. Like, we don't have to wait. You can do it. I believe before you go through that course 2-3 times, the interviewer, they will be scared of you, because everything you need to pass interview, to get the job, to get the certification, that is what they teach you in that course. So please, 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 you guys should go pay for that course on Udemy and just watch it. It's like 10-15 bucks. Like, so it will really help you guys a lot. That is how I got my certifications. Like, seriously, all these courses on my you see on my LinkedIn profile, like, I've watched them, like, even while having a job. Like, I watched them like 2-3 times, started to the end. Those are like 20 hours course, 20 something hours course, 15 hours course, because I'm really like determined. So you guys are determined, like, to get this job, please.
Okay, you've gotten there. You've gotten there to the point I think everyone here wants to know. How much are these courses? If you state these courses and we're ready to start taking them this week, how much do we go to the bank and look at and say, nah, let me get this done? If we were to do it right now.
These courses, like, Udemy, they're giving discounts every time. Like, what's coming up next now? I'm sure this spring break now, they are like discounts for like $15, $10 for these courses. So like me, I spend money. You have to spend money on yourself. Like me, I spend money on buying Udemy courses. Like, I don't play with it. Like,
No,
I don't care.
that's great. Like what you just said is fabulous, because when you keep saying courses, I'm thinking, 500 here,
No.
1,500 here. That's what's going on in my mind.
No. This course is like, without
Yeah.
discount, they're like $50, $60 or $40 or $30. But with discount, you can see them for like $12, $10, $9. And if you just sign up for Udemy, they might give you discount, and you'll be like, you can buy this course for like $10. But they have what can give you like a high-end 6-figure job. Like, those courses, don't think because they're $10, they're like really useful. Like, don't play with those courses. Seriously.
Yeah. And Lambert, you posted the BP Udemy course. Did you post it, or I'll post
I
it?
just give them, like, they should just put that in the search bar in Udemy. Or
Yeah.
Go
DP,
to my link, click the link.
DP data engineer,
Yeah, but like, these courses, like I say, man, like, please don't play with these courses. Like, they have everything you need, instead of going to be paying like those schools like $2,000, $10,000, $20,000 for this $15 can even teach you more than those schools out there. And like I said, you can either go to, just if you don't want to copy my profile, you don't want to copy your B profile, you can type data engineer on LinkedIn, look for other people, just copy their profile, edit it, and make it yours. But you have to understand everything that is in that resume. That's all you need, because they're asking you questions based on your resume. Your resume is who you are. You're telling them like, hey, this is who I am. So they'll be asking you like, hey, you said you this. What is this? Just understand what's in the resume, take those courses and start applying. And once you start applying, never give up, because sometimes like one job can turn you down. Like, I believe Obi faces the same thing too. Like, you have to apply for go to multiple interviews. Some interviews, like, there was one interview I passed, like when I was looking for a job, like December of, like, was it 2017 or 2018? I got their job, but like, they decided to postpone the job. They didn't want to like onboard me till February of the next year. So at that time, I already have a more better job, so I declined their offer. It was their loss. So that's how you have to approach it. Like, don't put your hope on no job. Just keep applying.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Never give up.
Yeah.
Rather, what you will do, what you don't understand, ask them or write it down and go learn it. You write it down, like, okay, I don't know this question. You write it down, go to YouTube, go to Google, make sure you understand that question for your next interview. Like, before you do like 5-6 interview, you will be good. You will get a job.
Yeah. And just
to prayer and fasting, like, God first, we like, before you do interview, fast and pray. Like, that is the number one step. I'm not gonna lie, like me, I fast and pray. All my friends say fast and pray. For real, you must fast. Seriously, that is
also. Yeah, I was gonna add on that. Like, realistically, like before I get any job, even throughout my career, I've switched multiple jobs. However, on average, even though I have experience, so to get the job I actually want that pays me what I want, it takes me at least 1 month of constant interviews. And I'm talking about at least probably 10 to 20 interviews as experience. But as a fresher, as someone that is a fresher, right?
Yeah.
Set your mind up that if you haven't applied to 100 jobs or gotten even, like, let's say, over 30 no's, don't give up, because it's normal. Like, you probably will go through as many interviews. I'm talking about 30, 50. I feel like in my own, I went through 100 phone calls at least. But it doesn't have to be that bad. Obviously, when I learned it, it was still, I was in a different technology, and my competition was a lot harder at that moment, because data engineering right now is still new, like, relatively, and it's actually, the demand is so much more than supply versus the time I learned, right? So you might get it a little easier, but still don't give up. Have in your mind that, yeah, it does take, that first job takes like the most amount of time. But yeah, you definitely get it. Yeah.
Yeah, like me, when I was my first job, I was really like applying for like various roles, including Power BI. So that took me like some time. But before I joined Capgemini, like I did like 7 interviews. I got like 5 offer letters, and the list was like 140K. So I was even like rejecting like offer letters. So it's all, everything depends on your mindset, and please don't joke with prayer or fasting. Like fast before any interview. You might just go to an interview and you guys will be discussing something yourself. They'll just give you the job. Like one of my friends here, right? Yeah. Like when she was doing her interview, like they were discussing about cowboys. She's an IT auditor. Like they were discussing about cowboys, like because she's from Dallas, like that's why she got like a good job. So prayer and fasting is the key. That's just it.
Yeah. I think we're opening the floor now. I know we're kind of out of time, but just opening the floor for just other questions. If you have, feel free, ask anything you want. We can at least answer and give you more guidance.
I think first we need to give these two gentlemen a round of applause. What you're doing today, you're helping us feed our village, not even get money. You're helping us feed our village. I've been in database field and research field for a while. I usually think it's so hard. I have a friend who's a data engineer. So if I need to make a presentation, I call him and we're up all night over Zoom or something like that, or WhatsApp video message. He didn't tell me, hey, buddy, just take this $15 course, or just take this $10 course over here. So man, you guys made it seem so seem so something like we can accomplish. And that part of this whole session is the most, I believe, most enhancing part of this session. I'm gonna, if you don't mind, follow everything you guys have said and contact you later. Hopefully I could chat with you guys. Appreciate it dearly.
Yeah. Feel free to reach out on our LinkedIn, and for sure it's very it's easy. Like those courses, if it's $50, just hold on. Very soon they will give discounts for like $10. But those courses are $1 million courses. Like don't play with them.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, definitely. And some people get confused. Like they think the years of experience. Oh, the company, they have a job description saying we need 5 years experience, but how will I spend 5 years before I can get this job? No, 5 years is just marketing, like recruiter marketing, is not that they need 5 years. It's a matter of how much do you know? Because anything that they're saying 5 years, you can literally learn all those things in weeks or 1 month, and you can qualify yourself for that number of years.
You are
And
the one
that's
that
the truth.
yourself. You are the one that will qualify yourself, nobody.
Yeah,
So that's why,
nobody, exactly. You qualify yourself.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, go for the senior, don't go for the junior, don't go for no freshers. Learn those things on YouTube and go for the senior, so you can get a 140K at least job. And whatever you don't know once you start the job, everything is on Google. Google is your best friend. So
Exactly. Yeah,
Hi,
exactly. Yeah.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for putting this up. I really, really appreciate this. I have a question that I posted on the chat, and I'm just gonna read it up, and I really appreciate if you can just throw a light or two on it. So a startup company growing rapidly is seeking the help of a data engineer. Could you please describe the process you will use to help this company migrate and manage the data as a data engineer?
So
it's
I can go for that. So a startup company is looking. So that is not a very clear question, because okay, as a startup company, if you need to migrate data, migrate to where? Like, what is your business model, or what is the current state? Because as a data engineer, right, you want to know what's the lay of the land. Like, what kind of data are we talking about? Are you on-prem? I'm assuming that probably they are on-prem, which is
Yes.
they have on-premise, servers, and they want to migrate to the cloud. So what kind of solution do we have for them? Yeah, that's straightforward. I would say that we could, as a data engineer, identify the data sources that you have, and build an architecture where how you're gonna migrate the data from on-prem to the cloud using, so in Azure, depending on the data volume or size, you can have, they call it you have the tools like Data Factory, like that can migrate the data in a batch mode from on-prem. You set up your data lake in your Azure. You have that. You set up the storage accounts. You have your compute engines. I'm getting more technical, but you could set up.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think that question it should be more of an architect question, not necessarily a data engineer, because data engineers, are more low level. You're just focused on working on your tasks.
So
right?
actually, what's happening is, so the company I work for as a business analyst, we're having issues with our data management. So I'm looking at taking up some of these courses that you're putting up, and then I'm thinking of also how I'm going to maybe grow inwardly, like maybe instead of seeking for job outside, I could propose to them or give them ideas. So that was why I came up with the question.
Oh,
But
okay, nice.
thank you very much.
Yeah, excuse me.
Great.
Let me come in. So if you want to do something like that, right? You should go and watch the other courses I put on there, which is the Formula One racing. That's the real world project. That's a project course. They're teaching you like it's like you're doing a project. You understand? So if you watch that video, you can be able to help your company migrate their data from probably from on-prem to Azure. So I saw somebody saying AWS and Azure. Azure is pretty amazing. It's simple. I love Microsoft because I've been using Outlook, Automate.com. So Azure is just like Automate.com. Like if you be using Automate.com, that is Microsoft. So anything Microsoft they are very easy to navigate. You understand? So but Amazon, due to they're just they're coming out new with whatever they're doing, you might find it difficult to navigate through them. But Azure, with that mindset of hotmail.com, you know, like you'll be working on Hotmail. So if you have that mindset, you can just like, hey, I can do this as long as it's Microsoft. Hotmail, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, all those things, they are Microsoft.
Yeah.
So those are the same thing that's on Azure, but they just change the names. You know, the naming conventions, they're just like, so Azure is very, very like the job in Azure, like there are a lot of jobs, like seriously, we can't do everything.
Especially in Houston. Especially in
please,
Houston.
please, any Nigerian that's coming to America, like the reason why I'm even like doing this, I don't want them to be like doing fraud and scam and all those things and end up in jail for like peanuts. Like they're really like Nigerians, we're smart people, we're very smart. Like we look at Indians, they're helping themselves. That's why you see Indians, they're like the CEOs, they're top, because they're helping themselves in IT. So I just hate seeing Nigerians going to jail like for peanuts, and it's crazy. Please, please, please help other Nigerians. Like I wish I had this help when I came in newly, like by now would have been like far. But you know, but thank God for everything. Any Nigerians that's coming, you guys should help them. Like these courses they're everything you need. Like seriously, please let's help ourselves so we all can grow, you know.
100%. I agree with that. Definitely share the knowledge, share the love. Me and Lambert, we actually would have liked to have like some kind of, you know, boot camp, some kind of training program, because a lot of it is also the self-motivation, because we can give you all the information in the world, but if you are not there to do the work, if you are not willing, you don't have the motivation, you don't have the time, you won't do it, right? But if you are willing to actually maybe pay for something where you have with a bunch of students that are also pursuing the same goal, that might help you further. But we are not ready yet to have that kind of, we don't have that yet. But if we do, we would probably reach out and definitely inform everyone. So so that's why it's important to do follow us on LinkedIn, and I put even the Facebook page that we're gonna have. So do follow us. That way, if we have you know, updates on around that, you can get to know. And yeah, I'm very happy that you guys are really, you know, here to learn, and definitely more to come, you know.
Let me jump in. There's one like Elon Musk quote I like, is like, if you give yourself like a month for you to like tidy your house, it will take you a month. If you give yourself a week, it will take you a week. These courses, if you give yourself, because it's just 24 hours, 15 hours. If you give yourself like 4 days, you can, within 1 week, if you give yourself 1 week, you can get a job. If you go through those courses and build your resume, I've even told you guys to go and copy my resume, like I don't care, and just edit it and put it on your LinkedIn.
You know, they will need your help for reference and background check.
No. Those most of the recruiters that do those kind of like reference and all those things, they don't even give you job. If you notice, the company that give you job, they don't care about those references and all those things. Like most company that I work with, like they never care about references or those other stuff. Just this country, this is the best country in the world, because you can dream and you can achieve it, and your skill set will take you far in this country. As long as you have skill set, they don't care whatever you have in your background or anything. Like those, you say, where's the copy of your resume? No, what I'm trying to say, just copy every word that's in my resume and just edit it and use it as yours. But don't copy my certification.
You share your resume.
Those have my name. You can just copy, like you see, like my previous roles, what I've done, just copy everything, you know, just edit you can edit the years, or just edit like normal editing, you know, just edit them to be yours. Like just change my name, don't go put my name in your profile, like yeah, those kind of things. But apart from that,
I think he means, you know, clearly use the companies you worked in and copy the things he said he did in the company, right? The roles.
Yeah, you can use the company as well. Like
okay.
As long as you have the skill set, most companies don't care. As long as you have the skill set, most companies don't care like for it. You just have the skill set.
Don't get them in trouble.
No, not in trouble. This is what most people are doing. Like, no, for real, like for real. Or what you can do, all the companies you've worked with, because when they do your background check, right, they're not going to see what you did in that company, but they can see you work there. You can just use your company you've worked with to edit my company that I've worked with. You understand? And
Exactly.
and what I did was my duties, just copy the duties and just like, this is what you did there, you know. They will only see that you work in the company. They won't know whether you are a data engineer there. They won't know that. So that is like what we're telling you now. This is like the dopest like secret. Nobody can tell you these things, you know, because we want you guys to grow. And if you give yourself 1 week to tidy your house, it will definitely take you 1 week. So if you give yourself now 1 week to get this job and you follow what we told you, you can get this job in 1 week. So that should be all for me, man. Don't give up. Never give up. Put God first.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be posting the. Let me post the Facebook page. I will be posting a sample resume on the Facebook page. I'll post a sample resume on the Facebook page, and that way you guys can follow. But where's the Facebook page? Hold on. I'll post it before the end of this meeting. But yeah, I would say in like my advice about the resume and everything is start. It's all everybody is not you know yourself. And with me, some people are not comfortable faking experience. Like I know that some people are comfortable owning that, but it's who you are. You have to know yourself at the end of the day. That's my point. And with me, when I started, I was willing to do put whatever experience I had and put more because I actually studied for it, right? I actually spent 3 months studying. But if you actually just spending 1 month, you can start off with, let's say, 2 years, see the lay of the game. You can still get something, but don't expect to be making 140K, you know? It's all depending on pace, you know? Some people you get the first job. After that, you come back, you put 5 years experience and make the 150K. So it all depends on what you are comfortable with. But definitely that's the truth. Yeah, the truth is if you just come out like you're thinking like normal job, I'm just gonna say, oh, I'm a beginner, you should give me a job, please. Nobody will look at you. That's just the unfortunate truth. Nobody will care. So that's why we have this conversation as, you know, Nigeria will be, you know, like we are telling you the truth that yes, you do have to put something on your resume. You have to finesse finesse the resume. So if not, nobody will contact you. So let me check the Facebook page real quick.
So this is $1 million secret we're giving you guys. So please, you guys should use it wisely. Like we want to see you guys in the feed. You know, very soon, like we're going to create a platform whereby we can be like helping each other, even on the job self. Like if you have issue while you got the job, when you have the job, if you have any issue, like you can reach out to us. We can like help you optimize your pipeline or scale your pipeline or whatever you want to do, because that's what we do. We love doing what we do.
Yeah. That's good. So,
once I get that 150K job, if I have problem, I'm calling you Lambert.
My brother, now your mind. You got to think big for this country. Think big and work hard.
Yeah.
Anything. This is America. God bless America.
Amen. All right. I think we spend a good amount of time, and I put the Facebook page, and I'll be posting this on YouTube. I have the YouTube channel right here, Afro Infotech. I'll post it on YouTube, the recordings. That way, I will also put that in the information on the description. Where's the YouTube channel? YouTube channel is this. Man, what the hell? But yeah, once I upload it, at least you just watch out for the information, at least the Facebook page and YouTube channel. You'll get the information. But yeah, thanks everyone. If does anyone still have any question, we can answer. But if not, we can call it a day. You know. All right. Going. Gone. All right. So thank you all. I'm happy that you guys came out and, you know, yeah, definitely keep the information flowing, and good luck to everyone, and we'll be in contact, you know. So
thank you very much, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you guys for
Yes,
your time.
Mezu.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for the platform. Nice one.
Nice one, man. Thank you. All right, bye.
Yeah. Yeah.